Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. And now, celebrating 15 years of broadcasting, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, whether you're tuning in on the radio dial in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM or through WYADonline.com. We're glad to have all of you with us. Also, those tuning in through our online affiliates around the world, including Conversations Radio Network and iHeartRadio. We're glad you all could be with us as well. We're really excited to welcome actor and producer Vince Lozano to our program today. Vince is making his first appearance on our program, but he's someone who's been able to do work that he loves for many years. We're going to talk to him about that journey, but also he had a chance to star in and produce a film that I had a chance to see called Acts of Desperation. We'll talk to him about that particular project, what drew him to it, and, of course, what it's been like for him to already see the early response. If you're just now finding out about Vince as well as the new film, I'll let you guys know at the end of our segment how you can stay connected with both. But, Vince, hello to you and welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
The pleasure's definitely all mine, Vince. Vince, let's start with Acts of Desperation because I think this is a really intense film. I mean, and what I love about this is not only, as I mentioned, are you one of the stars of the film, but also one of the producers as well. What has it been like for you, Vince, to see the way that people are already responding to this project?
It's amazing. It's just great response that we've been getting through social media, the film festivals that we've been accepted to, and people seeing the fans who've seen the film for the first time at festivals just coming over and just being blown away by what we accomplished with this film, especially that it's a low-budget indie film.
Yeah. And, but I think even with that being said, what I love about technology these days, Vince, and I think you would agree with me, because as I said, you've been a part of some amazing projects. With technology today, with social media, of course, being there to aid, you guys are able to take, what may have seemed impossible 10 years ago and really create something amazing. Is that one of the great things about filmmaking for you today?
It is. Especially with the cameras that we have today, the digital cameras shooting at 4K, like Blackmagic, the Red, you're able to take something that costs maybe a few $100,000, make it look like it costs $5 to $10 million, and especially with CGI. Has become more user-friendly, meaning that you don't have to rent out a big studio and go in there and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a shot like we got with the bridge and making someone look like they fell off overpass or a bridge. So definitely it's exciting. It's really exciting what you can do these days with a little bit of money.
Yeah. And so let's go back then to the beginning, because what I thought was so interesting about prepping for your segment, Vince, is that I noticed that for you, I mean, the acting bug kind of hit you early right on stage. I mean, what was it about acting that made you say, this is something I want to do?
I guess I would have to say one was meeting all the girls I was meeting when I was 17 and 18. and my wife is here with her thumbs down. but that was the exciting part about it. Was I was a jock. I was playing a lot of sports, and then I got into dancing, and then I was a street dancer. But then once I really got into the craft of it, and the art of it and the challenge of it and the impact that you can make with just diving into not necessarily characters who you are in real life, but tap into those organic characters that we all have. Meaning, we all have demons. It's tapping into those demons when you're playing a bad guy, or tapping into the humanity that we all have inside, and being able to own our walls and just open up and let everybody in and see that true character. So I guess really it was the challenge and the excitement of hearing an audience applause for the first time, and going to see yourself on the big screen for the first time, and just all that stuff that's really makes it exciting for someone like me, especially someone who grew up in, on the west side of Cleveland,
right.
the small little inner city neighborhood. So definitely, I would say it's the challenge, and then learning the craft and putting in the hard work like anything you do. And that's the thing, because being a jock, I definitely had the discipline playing baseball, basketball, football, and boxing, and the work ethic I had at that, I applied it into acting.
Wow. And I think, you know what, I'm so glad you said that, Vince, because that work ethic is so important. And what's so interesting to me as you were talking, what I thought about, is passion, right? Because when people hear your name, there are a lot of different types of roles that come to mind. Some of them are, more like what we see with Acts of Desperation, but also some on the lighter side as well. Is that also part of the fun for you, that you don't have to worry about, being the same person every time you show up on set?
Yes, that is truly exciting. And that was one of the things I loved about the role in Acts of Desperation, because a lot of times I get the heavy. So the heavy meaning the drama, the bad guy, someone who's walking around tough. But this time, in Acts of Desperation, I got to play the lighthearted comedic element in the story, which I don't always get to do. And that's the other thing that made it so much fun. And yes, the variation of getting the chance to play different roles, and sometimes I don't worry about what I'm getting paid. I always look at the story and go, okay, I haven't had a chance to play this. Oh, this is challenging. Yeah, I want to play that, So definitely. And that's where the passion comes along in the play.
Yeah, and I think that is the cool thing as well, and that's also why your fans appreciate it too, Vince. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in, is on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome actor and producer Vince Lozano to our program today. Vince is part of the talented cast on the film I recently saw called Acts of Desperation. We're going to let you guys know at the end of our segment how you can find out the updates about it. Vince, I want to go to a comment that was made recently by one of your fellow castmates of Acts of Desperation. It was an interview that she gave, and she basically was saying when you presented her with the story for Acts of Desperation, it made her want to do it. You are now one of those people that are not only admired by your fans, but also by your peers. How does that feel to know that you all have been able to have that type of camaraderie, but also that you've been able to garner that kind of respect from them?
It's flattering. I mean, definitely. Anytime you get a sense of appreciation, or someone respects your work, or they respect what you do, it's flattering, and truly, I truly appreciate that, because I try to go out of my way to find, or not really go out of my way, but I try to find pieces that are challenging, interesting, and that actors really want to play, and that all actors are really getting a chance to play. And
right.
I guess from that point of view, I'm coming from a place of, I look at myself and I go, well, I don't always want to play the same thing. So that's what I try to do with people in my circle, people I know who I think are very talented actors. And, and it's just really humbling and flattering when you're respected by your peers. That's all
Exactly.
That's the best way I can put it.
I think that's so true. And I think, the other side of that as well, Vince, is that, as I mentioned with the fans, social media is such a big thing. You, of course, are being able to share with your audience as well. You've been, of course, promoting this particular project as well as other things as well. What has that been like for you to see the importance of it? I've been curious the past few years as I've done these interviews with actors and producers and those who are, are filmmakers, about the role now and how crucial social media is to the success of projects. I mean, what has it been like for you to embrace that platform?
At first I was a little resistant to it, but then, times change, and you got to change with the times. And I think social media has been a great way to create like a grassroots campaign for a film like ours, and that maybe ordinary people in the Midwest or somewhere in the in the South who may not get a chance to hear this film, but you start posting it on social media, and people start sharing it, and the next thing you know, you create a buzz. And also, as an actor, it's helped me tremendously, because I'm one of those actors. If you send me a message on social media, I'm going to respond. I mean, I get a lot of messages all the time. How do I get into business? Is there any advice you could give? Or they just say, hey, I really liked you in this show or this film, or can I get an autographed picture? I'm one of those people that I believe in responding and sharing, and if they want a photo, I send it to them. And I just feel it's important to connect with your fans and not try to be above them, and show that, hey, we're just alike. When it rains, we all get wet at the same time, So
right.
I'm no better than you. I just chose a different craft.
Right. Yeah, I think that is so true. And you know what, though? Let's be honest, though, Vince, that is not necessarily the attitude of everybody in your industry. Where do you think that appreciation comes from?
Man, that's a good question. I guess I just the way I was brought up, the way I was brought up, to treat everybody the same, to treat everybody equally, to have humanity. And when I go do signings, sometimes I see parents where they're coming with 4 or 5 kids. They can't afford to have an autograph or something. I don't know. I guess I just have empathetic to it, and if I see something like that, I'm just here to have a picture. Here, no cost, take it, whatever, and it's just I guess the way I was brought up, and having a sense of humanity and just staying grounded,
That's right. No, I get it. I totally can feel that. So I want to ask you this question, Vince. We're going to let our audience know, of course, how they can stay connected with you. We do appreciate this time. The what's next? Because with you, you're one of those actors. Honestly, we don't know what type of role we're going to see you in next. It's so funny. When I found out about you being a part of this film, I'm like, you were in, Fear, Love, and Agoraphobia, as well. And other great projects, which I had a chance to talk to the cast of that film project. So what is it that makes you excited about the what's next? You've been able to do so many great things, but what is it that keeps you looking forward to the next thing?
Whatever role I can find that's challenging, and also that makes my stomach nervous, or makes me uncomfortable a little bit. I'm always looking for that, and I'm always looking for some way to challenge myself to the next level. Maybe direct something in the near future. And that's something that I'm thinking about. So I'm always looking, basically, to challenge myself, whatever it can be.
Okay.
If it's that role that scares the living shit out of me, or whatever. I don't know if I can say that on the radio, so that's why I spelled it out. But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it keeps me alive. Keeps me alive.
Right.
And what's next? Probably. I know I had some come through a couple days ago to appear in some new TV show, so they're working that out. And then I'm coming on another show, Golden Revenge, which is a crazy comedy, which, even crazier than the role I just played on Acts of Desperation, called Golden Revenge.
Wow.
My partner's a chimp.
Oh, wow. Well, look, that gives us something to look forward to. Speaking of which, for those who are just now finding out about Acts of Desperation, make sure you guys go to the website for all of the updates. You can go to www.actsofdesperation.com. actsofdesperationmovie.com. Again, at actsofdesperationmovie.com. There's also a Facebook fan page that kind of keeps you updated on conversations like this that the cast are doing. Any updates, you can watch the trailer there on Facebook. And they also have a very engaged Instagram page as well. So make sure you guys stay connected with the film there. And Vince, how can our audience stay connected with you?
They can find me on Instagram, Vince Lozano page, Lozano page, Vince. And then I'm on Facebook. It's Vince Lozano page 2. And then on Instagram, Vince Lozano. And, say hi. Let me know that you heard this. I love to hear from you.
Well, I appreciate that. Vince, I know it's a crazy busy time for you. Thank you so much for this time. Really appreciate that, and looking forward to our next chat together.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, the pleasure is definitely all mine. Definitely want to thank our good friend Clint Morris of October Coast for setting up this conversation with us for today. And thank all of you, our audience, for tuning in, either on the radio side or online, to another great segment of Conversations Live. If you all came in late, you missed part of the conversation with Vince, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right as we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media sites. So head over to facebook.com/Cyrus Webb or go to twitter.com/Cyrus Webb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share with your friends from there too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let's make it a great one.